Greetings, my esteemed audience. We are checking in from good old Lithuania, from the illustrious nation of Lithuania. Now, this is the mighty castle of Trakai. I've actually been here before. I decided to return to it to absorb some epic energies. Now, we'll return to said castle in but a moment, but first a message from the sponsor of this video. And the only reasonable course of action is to sponsor it via legiogloria.com. This is also the very reason I visited Lithuania, to plan and design coming releases. Speaking of which, we have just had 4 new absolutely aesthetic releases, 100% merino wool, again made in Lithuania, so do head over to the homepage and check them out. It is the good stuff. I am very happy and proud to present them. So do head over to legiogloria.com and see if you find anything that you like in particular. Now back to the video. First stop on our little journey is the Lithuanian Museum of Ethnocosmology. Shout out to Aki Cederberg, who wrote about it in his excellent book Holy Europe. I wrote a review on it. You should definitely read my review and then read the book itself. So the museum was unfortunately closed by the time I got here. My flight came in too late, I'm afraid, but I could stroll around on the grounds at least and absorb the mystical energies. So the stones, they were surrounded by planets, so our solar system. So quite epic indeed. So what you see before you is a stone formation, and then just in a circle around it are esteemed planets. And they also had some nice wooden statues of Lithuanian spirits and gods, and I decided to pray ever so quickly, because if I gain a lot of power, the Lithuanian people will benefit from it, as will all European peoples. So it can always be good to communicate in a respectful manner if you go to a place and you encounter some spirits or gods. So this is me paying my respects. Now onto a somewhat similar topic. I thought to mention to anyone in Lithuania, if you have a position of influence and power, please do change your flag into this one. This is epic, beautiful and heroic. This flag, however, it's not particularly epic at all. It tells me nothing. It gives me absolutely no sensations of anything. So the beautiful flag, which you see before you right now, this is a source of pride. It tells a great story worthy of respect and admiration. Now, before getting back to Trakai, I thought to ever so briefly mention this fine church you see before you right now. If I pronounce it correctly, it's the Pasaislis Monastery and Church. If any Lithuanian is watching this, please correct me in the comment section, just in case my pronunciation is off. So, an esoteric observation when visiting this fine church. By the way, it's built in 1664, so a few centuries after the conversion to Christianity. So if I compare this church, just the feels of it, to a church in Spain, for example. I've visited my fair share of churches in Spain. There's a completely different feel, and I would say there's a certain lack of enthusiasm, and I do believe, and take this with a pinch of salt. I'm just speculating. This is only an esoteric take. There is a certain lack of enthusiasm in this particular church because of the nature of Lithuania's conversion to Christianity. It wasn't done willingly. As you probably know, the Teutonic Order, they fought hard against the Lithuanians, and they used the lack of Christianity of the Lithuanians as a cause for war. So Lithuania, the nation in Europe that held out the longest against Christianity. So anyway, the church itself, it's aesthetic and nice and so, but again, I sense, only speaking esoterically now, so this is not a historical fact I'm just presenting my own interpretation of the spirits of the place. So yes, we are schizomaxing a bit. Usually I keep the schizomaxing to the podcast, but now I wanted to mention it at least. And related to this is that Christianity, it doesn't quite fit with the Lithuanian soul, I must say. But again, that's only my own esoteric interpretation of the situation. And here is me at a mighty oak, a venerable old oak, which stands 21 meters tall. So it's actually named, also it's named the Oak of the Hill of Peace. So I do like a good oak. Oaks and birches, my favorite trees. And now we return to the magnificent island castle of Trakai. The construction began in the 14th century by Duke Kęstutis and was finished around 1409 by the main character of our story, the gentleman you see before you now, Vytautas the Great. Now, the reason he is such a legendary figure, the reason he is the main character of the story, perhaps the one of the main characters of Lithuanian history, and a man of significance for all of Eastern Europe, or even all of Europe. He led Lithuania when they banded together with Poland to fight against the Teutonic Order during the Battle of Grunwald in 1410, also known as the Battle of Tannenberg. So that was a pivotal moment in the history of the Teutonic Order, which lost, as you probably know, and saw the rise, or the continued rise, of Lithuania and Poland when they could cement their authority over the region. And then, of course, as you also probably know, they entered into a union known as the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, and that was in 1569, so a while later than the battles against the Teutonic Order. Interesting stuff for sure. And here we see an aesthetic window of the aforementioned Vytautas the Great. So when you visit Trakai Castle, you can see the main character energy of this fine gentleman. Speaking of the story of the region, we must not forget one of the main antagonists of the various powers in Eastern Europe. So we have first and foremost the Mongols, and then also the Tatars. So here we see a small exhibition showing some Tatar culture and aesthetic. So the Tatars are an enemy of the Poles and Lithuanians and the Russians. So in the dynamic of Eastern Europe at the time, the Tatars, they played a significant role, as did the Mongols. Now you might wonder how I first got interested in the history of the region. It's quite close to Sweden to begin with, but it also has to do with the fact that I played Medieval Total War II, the Teutonic campaign, so then I got further acquainted with it, and ever since then I have had a certain interest. And of course the Teutonic Knights are aesthetically cool, and they're really good in Age of Empires 2, so there's that. So anyway, all that said, I just wanted to check in from my little trip. Hopefully you found the video somewhat nice at least, and thank you for watching, and thank you for your support. Do check out all links in the description box. If you are watching on YouTube, perhaps you're watching this on X, then there is no description box, but I'm sure you can find all of the relevant links nonetheless. You can go to thegoldenone.se, and there you have all of the links. So anyway, thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. XOXO.